Happy 4th of July, Flosstube. Even though I'm not going to upload this till tomorrow morning because I figure everyone is out doing wonderful things, but I am not. I'm here. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. Most of the members of our household are working today, so the other two boys and I are just going to stay off the roads and away from the chaos. I have been finishing things and I am so excited about that. I finished the ring. I just, I am thoroughly delighted with this little project. It's not the sort of thing I usually stitch. I picked it up because of the idea of stitching metal with a few different colors of solid TMC. And I can't believe how much this pops and how much you can see the suggestion of the words. It just boggles my mind. It's by Allerton Embroidery. I got it off of Etsy. I adore it. They have a whole shop full of other stuff, but none of the other stuff captures my heart like this one does. Lots of cute snarky samplers, lots of stuff like that. And then there is this. I will admit, by the time I got to the last little bit, I was so sick of these 4 colors. Technically there are 5 colors, but one of them only has a couple of stitches. Then there is this whole part that I had to finish last night was one color filling it in, and it was boring. That's the best word for it. I had burned out on this project. I pushed through the last couple of hours. I am very glad I did. It's a fine line between when do you set something aside for a while and look at it again with fresh eyes, and when do you just push through and get it done. The blueberry house is coming along. I put the basket on the roof and I started the door, and really there's a lace border that goes along under the house and a spray of blueberries over the house and a couple of quilt block sort of motifs, but this is surprisingly close to done. I usually do the outside stuff first and then the house later, because the houses tend to be good to fill in when you want to do some stitching without thinking too hard about it. This one, because it's got those little, I keep calling them quilt block motifs. I have no idea if that was her intent or not, but I'd count a little more on this one. Not a bad thing. I finished the banana stripe socks. These are Premier Yarn Fruits. These were fun. Love the texture, love the color. They're acrylic, so I don't know that they will be hard wearing wonderful socks. I certainly would not wear them for a long hike. They were fun to knit, and I like knitting socks more than I like wearing socks. So when I started these, I was debating with myself over the half-finished pairs, second sock syndrome, and all that. So the needles I used for those, I will cast on for the second sock that goes with this one. Not at all enthused about knitting it anytime soon, but if it's there and on the needles, maybe I'll pick it up now and then. That's the thought, at least. Did a little more on Southwest Mesa yesterday. It's sand. I don't even know if the camera will pick up my sand. It doesn't photograph well, but it makes me closer to done. If I fill in the sand, that means I can get on to the more exciting stuff over here. And I really should finish that pot. And there's a big bush here and a big bush there that I'm not thinking will be a lot of fun, so I'm kind of stitching around them until the urge to do that strikes. I was debating last night whether or not, original plan on the shawl was to knit until the 2 skeins of yarn were gone. And then I started thinking, well, it's getting big. It's getting probably big enough. These are comfort shawls, so the bigger the better, but where is the point where it is big enough? Looking at it today with fresh eyes, I really am kind of close to the end of this skein of yarn if you think about it, because these rows are huge. They take a lot of yarn for each row. I do have 2 more skeins of this that are going to be a second shawl, so maybe a couple more stripes of this, and then I will save whatever's left for the next one. I'm contrasting it with this great big Karen 1 pound using it as a center pull skein because that's what I'm told you're supposed to do, and it is just falling apart on me. Next one I'm doing from the outside. I'm still looking at new projects that I want to start. I've still got the skeletons and the possum. I have not forgotten about either of those, but then I saw a couple other things I really liked, and floss was on sale at Joann's, so I was all set to print out one of my Etsy purchases and go buy floss, and then I looked at it, and the store that I bought it from on Etsy is no longer there. I'm sure this is one of those classical artwork produced with a program type things. There's not a picture anymore. There's not a picture on the chart. So I do still think I want to stitch it. I just don't want to stitch it now. So that opens up a whole lot more possibilities. And just because it crosses my mind that I want to start something, if I've already got the pattern and the floss and the fabric in my stash, those quick little 3 a.m. ideas are not at all binding. I don't have to stick to them. The next 5 days in a row are supposed to be either close to 100 or over 100 degrees, so it's going to be interesting. It's looking like the quilt show is going to be really, really hot, and I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to make it across the pass over there or not next weekend. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. I'm going to go do some work on that shawl, I think. Maybe stitch some more sand on Southwest Mesa.